Alright guys, uh, so you know by the title of the video, the description, I guess I'm admitting defeat. We came down here with every intention of wrenching for a couple of days, and then after that heading out. So we had a couple days for wiggle room, a couple days for weather, couple of days for staying on anchor, just chilling. So in total I had about 2 weeks to be here, and so I guess I'm admitting defeat, if you want to call it that. It's almost like we're dealing with the stages of loss, of death, but denial, all the good. I guess we're in the acceptance phase, but we're not leaving. We'd planned, for those of you guys that know, we planned on coming down to Islamorada here in the Keys, grabbing the boat and moving it back up to Fort Pierce, but we're not doing that now. I've got about 2 weeks, so I had a small window to move the boat, and I'll try to remember to pan the camera around. And this might be a little longer video. I know I'm trying to keep most videos as a short or less than 5 or 10 minutes, but this might be a little longer video if anybody's interested. But anyway, let's see if I can get a good view of what's going on here. Let's see this flag right here, the Polish flag. Here's our boat. So when we first got here, the wind was coming in on the port side, and I'm tied to these pilings right here. And then in front of us, we got other boats there. So our boat's almost 40 feet long, including the dinghy and the dinghy davits. And so what we had to do was pull the boat out, and there's not a whole lot of room to pull out here. I don't know if the camera does this justice, but basically we'd have to pull straight out and right at the last second turn to port to get out of here and go down this channel. And when we got here, the wind was coming in on port side, really, like at about 15 miles per hour. And the margin for error is really slim. So if I didn't get out of here really cleanly, it could cause a whole lot of carnage. And let's see if I can get a good video of this. But you can see the pilings going down through this marina. Most boats are sticking out past the pilings, and it's very narrow through here. So with the wind coming in on port side, basically it would have pushed the boat to starboard over this way. Let's see if I can see the piling here and here. So I would have had to have got going about a knot or two to keep control of the boat as we were pulling out, and it would have been a real challenge to get out of here without hitting a bunch of other people's stuff. So the description part, I guess I admitted defeat. I've accepted that, which it doesn't sit well. It doesn't sit well. I had all of this planned out and was planning on being in Fort Pierce by now. But with 2 weeks off, I thought, well, I've got plenty of time to do the sailor thing and plan B's, C's, and so when we first got here, I'm like, well, the weather's not right, the wind's not right to get out of here. So we sat for a while. Figured we'd wait it out. Every day is the same thing. Wind's coming in on my port side. and there's nobody here to help. Everybody on this dock is away, different places, but it's not tourist season here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but the restaurant's not filled up. There's not a whole lot of people here. I wouldn't call it busy at all. But, so, change of plans. Yesterday we went up to, day before we went up to Fort Pierce and just visited. Now we're back here on the boat, but we're definitely not going anywhere now. But we were planned on leaving here, sailing up to Gilbert's or Rodriguez Island, which is on the outside. We had to have gone through a drawbridge, and we would have anchored on the outside in the open water, and then from there we would have went to No Name Harbor, which is just south of Miami, and then from No Name Harbor we were going to sail north past Fort Lauderdale, ideally, and landed in West Palm Beach. And then from West Palm Beach, it's only 40 miles to get to Fort Pierce. Sounds easy, but it's not as easy as you would think. So, we've changed our plans, and I guess we kind of turned this into a vacation. We got up to Fort Pierce and visited another sailor we know really well. Really good friend of ours named Paul, Mr. Paul. And, he was kind enough to let us stay on his catamaran last night. And now we're back here trying to make the most of it. So, essentially, our boat's going to stay here during hurricane season and just make the best of it. We're in a good marina. It's fairly protected, as you guys can see. There's buildings blocking the wind. Great place to be, but we really didn't plan on making this a vacation. It was more of an essential thing for us to move the boat, and we're not doing that. So, but either way, we're gonna make the most out of it and get back to work when I gotta get back to work. But we're doing well. Weather's great down here, a little hot, a little hotter than Illinois. It's definitely muggy here. Pretty much cut the mugginess with a knife. It's pretty thick, pretty hot. Thankfully, we've got a nice air conditioner, nice heat exchanger on the boat. Nice and cool down in the cabin. Looks like a lot of people are still getting out and enjoying the beautiful Florida Keys. But we're not going anywhere anytime soon, so the boat was in good shape when we got here. A couple things I was a little disappointed in. I don't know if you guys had watched our past videos, but I redid this. There was a solar panel there. Removed the solar panel. Redid the whole deck right here. That way it was still looked nice and got rid of old factory junk. But came back and, you know, the 8 or 10 hours I put into this, or whatever, days of work, it's kind of trashed. And and it's leaking, I think. It was the only leak that we found on the boat. But also, check this out. This is Dr. Zoidberg's pee pad right here underneath our life raft. Kind of got us missing Dr. Zoidberg. And he's in good hands, though. He's with Mom and Dad, so they said he's doing good, other than the storms. If you guys watched any of our previous videos, you know that Dr. Zoidberg doesn't like the storms. He gets a little wild, but likes to hide under stuff like stoves and small areas that he really doesn't belong. But either way, you can see our pilings. Our boat is double lined off. We've got double lines on our bow. We've got spring lines going back and forward. Boat's going to be just fine. The boom, the sail pack is all wrapped up from last time. But check this out. Let me see. I got to look at the screen here. We actually hung our sailing flag, the American flag here. You're required to fly that when you're sailing. We actually raised that because we thought we were going, so you guys can understand that we really thought we were going. Not super stoked about that, but that's what it is. A lot of little stuff, like when we left, I hung a ladder from the side. That way, people that were watching our boat, if they needed to get on the boat, they could access our boat fairly easily. Get up in the boat and check the bilge, stuff like that. But we came back and our bilge was completely dry, which is good news. Now that we're running the air, the bilge is fairly wet because the condensation off the air conditioner, but everything's going well here. Didn't have any problems with the boat. Boat's doing really superb. Kind of a testament to what we've been doing as sailors. I wouldn't say that we're meticulous. We did the best we can with the knowledge that we have. I'm gonna sit down here. And again, guys, this might be a little bit longer video. Sundown right now. Caden's downstairs cooking dinner. Charlie's here doing art. Say hi, Charlie.
Hello to the viewers.
Friends and family.
Hi. Hope everything is well. That's all. I'm just sitting here painting.
But everybody's in a good mood. We've got plans tomorrow to go down to Marathon. We're going to see an old sailor friend down there. He's been a great friend. He's been at Fort Pierce the whole time we were there. Ended up moving down to Marathon. And if you watch some of... Oh no. I was going to say Nick Shirley, but it's not Nick Shirley. There's a guy that does travel videos. He goes all over the United States to do videos, and he's down in Marathon and shows how boaters live down there. But there's a lot of people that live on boats, and so he did a whole kind of a series in a secondary YouTube channel where he does interviews with other sailors, and he did a really great job on his videos. It really shows how people live on the boat, and it's great, you guys. If you've never watched any of that kind of stuff, it's a different way to live. It's different. It's cool. But either way, we planned on getting down to Marathon and then going over to the Bahamas from there. So we're gonna have to put off our plans and do the best that we can for now. So tomorrow we're gonna go down to Marathon, visit him, see what he's up to. I think he's out on a mooring ball, but we're hoping to have lunch with him, have a good time down in Marathon, try to keep the kids happy. Do a wheelie, Dad, do a wheelie. For those that know me, you'll understand that little joke. But so yep, we're gonna go down to Marathon tomorrow. We're gonna go down, visit him, have lunch with him, check out Marathon a little bit, and make the most out of it. Like I said, yesterday I was a little bummed about our whole situation here, but you know, no reason to be bummed. Becky, say hi.
Hi.
Dinner's done?
Dinner's done. Dinner's done.
Caden's been downstairs cooking dinner. Sloppy Joes and baked beans on the menu tonight.
Here, Kaden, you can sit right here.
So super stoked about that. Great job on dinner, Caden. Looks gourmet.
That is gourmet for a boat dinner.
Boat dinner. But yeah, I figured I'd stay on a little bit longer, you guys, this time. And I don't know, I could be ranting, I could be repeating a lot of stuff here. I don't know that you guys ever saw the ramp that we built. Here, let's see if I can flip this camera around. Really mug off and get a little better video here. But I made this, it's a little pivot. So I made a base, that way it would accommodate tide. Tide goes up and down here in the Keys, and it's not much. A foot, maybe, maximum. Which was another factor that we had getting out of here. So I had to get out of here at high tide. I can't get out of this marina at low tide or even median tide. It's got to be high tide. We grounded as we came in and had to have a guy help get us off the bottom. Not super proud of that, but I'll admit that. But either way, we got to get out of here on high tide. We tried a number of times to get out of here on high tide, and the wind and the tide just were not cooperating. Like I said, figured I'd do a little longer video. For those of you guys that watch our videos, this is the new Honda, the 15 horse we put on the tender here. We mount it here on the stern of the boat so you can service it, get it out of the water. But this has been a great motor for us. Done really well for us. I installed the whale tail so it would get out of the water quicker, get on plane. Yeah, with 4 people in Bendy. I don't know if you guys can see that. We named our dinghy Bendy. Level latitudes, kind of inside joke, but yeah, installed that so it would get out of the water, get on plane a lot easier with 4 people in the boat. For those of you guys that watch our videos, you guys have seen our solar panel. We did a solar lithium install, so that is awesome. It is awesome. It works great. I think we have 560 amp hours of power on our solar, which was life-changing for us. We were normally operating on a 200 amp hour AGM. So those of you guys that know anything about AGM and solar, 200 amp hours is almost nothing. It's almost nothing. You can't use the 200 amp hours. You're only supposed to use about 30% of it, and at most half of it, 50%. So you only have about 100 amp hours on those batteries, and it wasn't even enough to really run our anchor light. Oh, somebody's birthday. Maybe I'll still be on this video when Michael Tricks gets on. There's a magician coming in tonight, and we're going to feel the noise, kids.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about feeling the noise?
I'm gonna feel it.
We're going to feel the noise.
After we eat it.
It's an inside joke. Feeling the noise set every night. It's a good set, but does the same set every night. And once you sit on the boat for 6 months, you know, yeah, quiet riot. Yep. Let's see, let me switch this camera around. This is down our dock. Sundown right now. We've got about 30 minutes to sunset. Yep, it's about Wednesday. We fly out next Thursday, so we're gonna make the most out of it. Which is not a big deal. Not a big deal. We would just love to be all about that sailing life. And unfortunately, we just can't seem to put it all together. But we will. Hey girls, you throw me that lighter? And yes, you guys, the lighter.
You using this?
gonna walk down this dock and do a walk and talk as if I'm some kind of YouTube influencer or some junk. But I know these people down here pretty well on this power boat. Great people. Serenity Blue is the name of their boat. They have a beautiful boat. Try to come down and help them when I can, and they help us. So, but I don't think this is a view you guys have ever seen before. But a mi casa su casa kind of situation. They let us come down here and use their area. This is my buddy Drew's boat. This is the guy that helped clean the bottom of my boat. Taught me a little bit about scuba diving and put me on air before, and phenomenal guy. He works at Robbie's down here if you guys are ever interested. He does like little kayak tours and stuff like that. But this is a little bit away from the marina. I don't think you guys have ever seen this before. Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to light a cigar. It's part of my coping mechanism, maybe. There's a lot of people that come through here, so. But yeah, we'll be home next week. For everybody that knows, we didn't make it. It's hard for me to accept it, but and I don't know. I guess I wouldn't say defeat. I've talked to other sailors, and they're like, "Well, it's a good decision actually, that you didn't pull out of there and cause a bunch of damage." And but I'm still not good with it. But either way, here's the bathrooms over here. Just a little cabana over here. And this dock goes down for a long ways. But here we are walking up to the boat. Even if we would have went back, we would have had to have scrapped this thing. But I had to make it so it rises and lowers and pivots left and right because the boat moves a lot. But it's got to go up and down with tide. This has been the bane of our existence. You guys see how I tied it off. We've came out here a dozen times and this thing's in the water. We got to pull it out of the water, and you'll notice there's a bunch of lines, and so these are our stern lines, our spring lines, our electrical. Plug our electrical to the pedestal so that we have AC and shore power. But right now we just got AC running to the boat because we've got that superb lithium solar that I installed, and it is working great. So every morning we wake up, we still have like 90% battery, so why not run on solar? But here's the cleat on our starboard side. You'll see all the fenders we still got down in case anything bad happens. But boy, look how faded they are. These used to be just deep black. Now they're all faded from the sun. Originally we were gonna, because we bought a sewing machine that embroiders, we were gonna embroider those with our boat name on it, and we never got around to it. But what those actually are women's leggings. Is that what I'm looking for? The leggings, the like gym pants, but we cut a leg off of those. So out of a pair of those, we get 2 fenders covered. Then I sew a little elastic around them, and they hug the fenders really tight. And for a while, they look really nice, but not so much anymore. Here's Bendy from the dock. So when we get back from Marathon, we're going to drop the dinghy motor onto the dinghy, Then we're gonna go out to the lighthouse, try to do some scuba stuff, but we gotta climb the mast a couple times while we're here. Here's the old Starlink mount, but that's back in Rockford. Band's playing, and here soon Michael Tricks will be on stage doing his set. But guys, I wish I had more to say, other than, you know, I wish I would have had a bunch of content for you guys, you know, moving back north. And unfortunately, I'm not going to get a bunch of content. It's going to be a bunch of dull, no content, bunch of square stuff. Whoa, look at those. Is that beans? Who eats that many beans?
They're good.
Holy cow.
I like them.
You are gonna be hard to live with here. You got a bathroom key handy?
Yeah.
Thank God. But yeah, just gonna chill here, gonna make the most out of it. We were hoping to be sailing and creating a bunch of content doing that, but it is what it is. Maybe next time, hopefully. Oh, sorry. Yep. Hopefully next time we can get a bunch of content and we'll see what happens. But I could walk you guys through a bunch of other stuff, even this. Doesn't seem really awesome, but this thing right here is for our VHF radio, our little handheld. We run a redundant system. We got VHF, but we also got a little backup VHF in case that goes out. Something else you guys may not see very often are fishing poles up here. We got them mounted underneath the bimini. And another thing, you guys probably never see the gauge clusters or anything like that, so I figured I'd do a close-up view for the gauge clusters for you guys. That's all new equipment I installed. A lot of new stuff on this boat, and we were hoping to utilize a bunch of it, but unfortunately we are not gonna do it this time. Hey, Charlie's art too. She's been sitting up here doing her. And then I'm going down into the cabin, into the dungeon. Caden, what are you doing down here?
Nothing, I just got down here.
But either way, guys, we'll be back soon. Sooner than what we wanted to be back. And but we'll pick this up again here soon. Hopefully we'll have some interesting content. You guys know I don't really do content on wrenching and stuff like that. That's a constant on a boat. It's not exactly margaritas and sunsets, and it's a lot of work. But the plus side of all of this is not a lot of work this time. I did a lot of work last time, so the boat's sitting in a marina and we're not tearing stuff up and taxing our equipment, so not a bunch of repair stuff this time, not a bunch of videos on that kind of stuff. So but either way, I suppose I will see you guys soon. If you guys want to comment, that'd be awesome. But either way, we'll see you guys soon, and I will talk to you guys later.